Wagwan, people of the interweb, it's that guy. Doing a dreadlock review today, highly requested on Mr. Augustus Pablo. Longtime freeformer and stood true to his roots as a knotty one. In this day and age, not many people have heard of Augustus Pablo. Born Horace Swaby, 1953. A Jamaican roots reggae dub producer, melodica player, and keyboardist who was active from 1970 until his death in 1999. Augustus was a huge trendsetter, or at least a trailblazer, by using his melodica as his main instrument producing his reggae music. If you've never seen a melodica before, it's one of those keyboards, a whistle attached to it, so you get to blow the air into the keyboard to make this, to produce a sound. It's kind of like a keyboard bagpipe, minus the bag. It's a keyboard pipe. This instrument is actually used primarily to teach Jamaican children the roots of reggae, the basics of music. Here in Canada, we got this thing called the recorder. Mr. Pablo was often referred to as one of the most important examples of reggae dub music. Without further ado, this is the story of his Freeform Locs. Born in St. Andrews, Jamaica, Augustus was a committed Rasta. His dedication was impeccable, outstanding, with a set of Freeform Locs that have never been separated nor cut. He has one of some great examples of what Congos really look like when you go manipulation free. No separation, just straight wash and go. I swear his hair had formed into a true plica polonica by the time of his death, reminding me a lot of how Gunplay's locks were looking but before he made the big lock chop. The immensity of Mr. Pablo's locks are incredible. They are legendary. In his earlier days, his locks look a lot looser, definitely starting with the dread fro, much similar to how Bob Marley was starting his locks out. Pablo was a huge fan of dreadlock tams, and he has a lot of variety, often showing ones that I've never even seen before. Huge ones with the bill on top, ones without the bill, knitted tams, and the thing was, his trademark was only tucking up half of his hair, never a full tam tuck, really. I mean, sometimes, but more than often, it was not a full tam tuck. Now, he did form these dreadlock woolly balls over the years that are kind of held on by like a one single thread of hair. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. It's a natural occurrence. To me, it reminds me of the trees and the branches breaking in the wind, or the leaves falling off in the fall. It's a seasoned weathering effect, so it's a natural thing. And I'm pretty sure with him passing at such a young age, he had grown this set of locks out for his whole life. One set of locks on this man. But let's go check out the Instagram page and really dive in to see what his locks were looking like. To Augustus Pablo's Freeform dreads. Insane. I have been introduced through you guys at the Knot Nation about Augustus Pablo, and this is one of the best parts about creating content for this community, is that I get to learn so much about other artists and Rasta figures that I might have never come across. But he had some Freeform locks. May he rest in peace. His Freeform locks were pretty much never maintained at all. You can see this dreadlock that's hanging on by a thread or thin hair that's kind of clumped together and drooping. It looks like a big teardrop. Now, Augustus Pablo was considered a pioneer of the dub reggae, a well-notable figure in the dub scene. This picture pops up a lot of Pablo, and he's wearing this tam, knitted tam, that's half holding his hair. It's not holding them up all the way, but it looks like a great updo, and it's like a half updo. And the crazy thing is, like, I got into dreadlocks specifically to wear big hats like this. Nothing beats having long locks and a big knitted tam to fill up with. Swear. There's his son, who's following his legend, Augustus Pablo. He's following the same footsteps as his father. This is a young Augustus. This hat is insane. I've never even come across a tam like this Where do you buy stuff like this? And these day and age, this probably costs $100 for a tam like this. I've seen them being sold in Toronto for ridiculous prices these days. It's insane, actually. Another photo of his son. His son's got some pretty dope Freeform Locs as well. Super long. This was an old Augustus. Still rocking the beanie half up. Here's another photo of Augustus with the half-on beanie, the half-on tam. He really made a look for this for himself. Because to be honest, I've never really seen someone wear a tam half-on as much as Augustus did. It's got to stand out from the part. This photo, we can see the Congo and that same teardrop shaped dread that's hanging there. Big wick Congo at the back. One of the more recent photos, I suppose, with his beret tam on. You can see his hairline's going back a bit at this point, but he's still got the big lock at the back, and essentially it's become a plica polonica. Again with the tam half on. Augustus with no tam. Looks like his hair's tied back a little bit here. And this is Augustus versus Addis. Crazy. This was a young Augustus, right when his Freeform Locs were just starting to form. And this is a cool image because it's like the very beginning stages of the dread fro. Usually about 6 months in of growing the fro, this starts to knot up. And you can see him starting to play with the locks in his hair. Not many photos of his dreadlocks from the back, but you can tell from the front that his hair has matted up pretty much into one big dread, maybe 2 or 3 at the most. Right when the dread fro would have started to drop, start to see that his locks are really formed at this point. And this photo shows us that it's definitely a freeform motion that he's going through. You can just tell by the shape of the locks, because created locks, manipulated locks don't ever look like this type of shape with the dimples and crinkles. Here you can see that big wick flowing down the side of his hair, side of his head. Old school photo of his locks. He has those little woolies all over the place. Now this photo actually shows us the plica polonica that we've been talking about. And here he's got his locks lumped to the front over his shoulder, and it shows us that it has all matted up into one lock falling all the way down his body. Can't fit that one in a tam really. Wow, that's insane. The maestro. Here you can see the plica halfway up into a tam, but not all the way. It doesn't make it up all the way. Crazy. I mean, that's about it. Great locks. I love learning about Augustus Pablo. Over the past few days, I've been doing some research and really taking in his music. A lot of it is really instrumental. The vibes are on point. So if you haven't already tuned into his music, I will be making a playlist of my favorite songs that I had found about him. And if you are a fan of Mr. Augustus Pablo, let me know your favorite song or album in the comment section down below so I can add it to the playlist that's going to be featured in this video. Anyways, that's it for today. Appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, one love. Say happy and knotty gang. Yeah.